So a little bit about myself. I graduated from the University of Virginia in 2017. Wow, so long ago. I've been working at IBM since. However, I'm also a real estate agent, but sales has been my life throughout college, mostly beginning of college, because I was assisting someone who was a real estate agent with different showings and just assisting them when it comes to real estate during my college career as well. So I knew I liked sales coming in from when I graduated. I didn't know I wanted to work in tech sales. I just liked the idea of making commission and making as much commission as you wanted. So when I was graduating college, I was actually a public policy and leadership major. So not a technical person. Well, I wasn't a technical person at all. And my path was, okay, I'm going to work for the public sector. I'm going to work for the government, take my talents there. And at the time, Trump was president. So he ended up having putting a hiring freeze for the government jobs. So that's what made me look elsewhere. And that's what took me to IBM, because I looked at the role and I saw that you get to work with government clients. So I thought that was pretty cool. And there was some travel involved. So I was like, hey, why not? Let me just apply for the sales role and see what it's going to be like. And it ultimately ended up being the best decision I ever made, because I was like, if I'm not going to do public sector work, I want to be in sales, since I have a background throughout my college career with real estate. So I knew once I did more research on IBM and what their programs and what they would provide for me as a technical seller, I figured this is the best bet for me to do. And once I got the offer, I took that. So, sales is literally selling yourself. And I feel like we all do that all the time. Like when it comes to trying to negotiate or do anything in your life, you're just trying to sell yourself. So I felt like I could do that since it's real estate and then IBM, and hopefully continue to do that moving forward. Oh yeah, so I didn't add this in the content, but I did want to speak on some misconceptions when it comes to tech sales. Because a lot of times when people think of sales, like there's so many different types of sales, right? There's like car salesmen, there's insurance salespeople, there's then it goes pharmaceutical sales. There's so many sales. So in my opinion, and just some of my research is talking to other people as well who are in those different positions, a lot of times people believe tech sales is what someone like a car salesman, it would be kind of very similar to what their job role would be, or very similar to like another sales position. But in all honesty, tech sales is completely different, in my opinion, from a lot of the different sales roles that I've learned about. Because one, people always say you have to be an expert in technology products. So I mentioned that I didn't come in with a tech background. So what IBM did for people like me who came in with like different majors is that we went through like an intense 7-month training, which was called the Global Sales School Summit Program. So in that case, I was able to learn everything that is to know about IBM. And I was able to get also different certifications that allow me to understand what different software and hardware and solutions that were happening not only within IBM, but also externally, since I'm trying to beat the competition, who is like, Amazon, Microsoft, other vendors like that. So you do not have to be an expert in technology products to enter tech sales. Now, secondly, if I don't make my quota, I'll lose my job. When I started IBM, I was like, sales, I gotta make a quota, I gotta make this number, and if I don't, I'm gonna lose my job. I was petrified every time I was doing work because I felt like if a deal didn't come in, it was over for me. But it's actually not that way at all. Within IBM, and I know some other companies as well, they have different quota structures for folks. So you don't have to technically meet your full quota. Probably there's a percentage that will keep you safe for you to meet. So that fear of like, if I don't make my $2 million number, then I'm going to lose my job. That's not really real within tech sales. So then third, your job is always to find new clients. So like I mentioned, car salesmen, insurance salespeople, they always are trying to find a new client. You know, they're trying to get someone to sign a deal, buy the car, get insurance, whatever. Within IBM and different tech sales roles, you could be in the role where you're more so extending or expanding the relationship that you have with a client versus trying to find a new client. So I'm going to talk a little bit about more what I do, but I do want to say that I'm in the role that I don't necessarily have to find new clients. I'm more so building the relationship and continuing, making sure that our relationship with the clients that I have are continuing and that they're continuing to, you know, buy new products, and also finding IBM as a useful vendor for software solutions or hardware, any solution that they have within their technology portfolio, that they're going to continue to utilize IBM as well. So I'll go a little bit deeper into that later. And then the base salary has to be low because of the amount of commission that's able to be made. Yeah, so I know some sales positions, like for example, as a real estate agent, you don't have a salary at all. But
sorry to interrupt once again. I just want to make sure that it doesn't look like your program is moving. So just want to make sure that you're good there.
Oh, okay. Wait, is it moving now?
No. Not seeing it moving on our end.
Let me see.
Yep, now it's good. Now we can see it.
Okay. Let me play.
I promise I won't interrupt again. Keep killing.
No, you're fine. Please interrupt because I can't see. I think so. Okay, are we good? Are we good to go? Can you see the screen now? Kyle?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Cool. All right. Okay, yeah, and then lastly, the base salary has to be low because of the amount of commission that's able to be made. So like I was saying, a lot of sales jobs, you don't even have a salary. So that's one thing. But even forgetting that part, a lot of tech sales actually average pretty high salary, I would say. I know starting role, I think the starting entry role average is around like between 70 to 75K for certain technical positions. And obviously that varies within what company you're working for, like whether it's bigger or smaller. But you do have a strong base salary nonetheless with tech sales, and you still are able to make commission, which is honestly what is my favorite part about this job, because you have a salary, but then you're also able to make as much money as you want if you're closing deals. So win-win situation. So next is, what is tech sales? So some of you have probably already done your research and know a little bit about what tech sales entails. But honestly, it's just involving you selling software or hardware to other businesses. So the emphasis as a tech seller is having that client find value in the product that you're trying to sell to them. And I mentioned before that I do a role where I'm not necessarily I'm not finding new clients. I have a set of clients that I manage, and I work towards, upgrading software products or renewing contracts and so forth. But I did start off as a regular brand specialist, like a seller who would have to be in that position where you're trying to find new clients. So I slowly, continuously just started to get promoted within the company, and now I'm in the position where I am now, where I'm more so managing accounts. However, it's all mostly about finding value within the product. So that's what honestly, a lot of tech sellers are doing. So as a solution, my role is a software client leader. So I don't really like to say what I do and like the name, because honestly, every position, every job titles things differently about what I do. I've seen it said like sales engineer. I've seen it be like account executive. There's so many names of different sales roles. So, but I do want to just explain what I do first, and then from there, let you guys know that since I do sell to the client, to different federal clients, that's why I'm in the federal sector, there are technical people beside me who do the demos, the presentations, and so forth. So I work closely with people who do have tech degrees and who are also in technical sales, where I'm more so the business person, and I like continue to try to make sure the business is moving and is growing, whereas a technical person is solving any technical issues or trying or providing presentations on any product that I see fit for that client. So we kind of work hand in hand together. That makes sense. And then identifying new properties. So I cover civilian agencies within IBM. So within those government agencies, I'm always reading, what's going on with their strategic plans, what they want to do moving forward, in their technology goals and so forth. So when I read and do research on that, I'm able to see what opportunities that I could provide for them from within IBM. So if they're saying that, they want to make sure that certain parts of their department is more secure because of different hacking that's been going on, I'll look into what our security portfolio provides and see what solution can help solve that problem. So identifying new opportunities is really important within tech sales because you're trying to continue that relationship with the client, right? Continue that value that you're going to want to provide for them. So I think that's pretty key. And it's not easy to always find new opportunities, but trust me, once you start to get to know that client, build that relationship, and do the research behind it, it's not going to be too hard to find new opportunities. And most new opportunities could lead to closing deals. So commission money coming to your pocket. My third point was, so I have like sales digital rep plus inside sales plus account executive plus technical specialist. I was trying to show that tech sales is so broad. Like there's so many positions within a tech sales organization. Like I said, you could be technical or you don't have to be technical, but you're all coming in and trying to end goal, close a deal, regardless of what your background is. And so positions like sales and digital rep, like inside sales, those folks are the ones who are mostly trying to find new leads, new clients, and trying to sell within, trying to sell solutions for new clients. So they're more so digital, and they're like on the phone constantly calling clients, trying to see what solution, what upgrade, what we could do to grow a relationship with a client, but more digitally. So in my role, I'm more customer facing. So I travel pretty often for work to different data centers for my clients. So I'm able to show like face-to-face value for the client and like explain to them what's happening, what new products we have, what's going on with their contract, when it has to renew, what products need to be upgraded, and so forth. And I do more of like I'm like a consultant as well as like a seller within my role as well. So, and then there's, I said, like technical specialists. Those folks are technical. They have a technical background, and they're providing the demos and the presentations to those clients. But they're at the same rate, going to get commission when the deal closes too. So even though they're not like completely, I guess you would say, selling, they are providing a value within the deal closing stage, the sales stage or whatnot. So they're just as vitally important. And then solution architects, product managers, there's a renewal rep. So many positions you can get into tech sales, honestly. So just want to put that out there. So I kind of said this already, but a lot about tech sales is building the relationship with multiple stakeholders within the company. So I become like real close with my clients because I talk to them on a weekly basis. So they want to make sure that they can trust you as someone who's not just trying to push them into a new product, but you're also trying to bring value, provide value for them. So it's really important to build relationships within a tech sales role. And I Googled saying, I saw that the average tech sales salary is at $95K. I'm assuming that's not just entry, it's just all within, no matter the time frame that you're in. So I'm like, that's pretty high. I didn't come in with that salary. But I just wanted to put that out there to show that, I know folks who are making their salaries and they're already in the six figures, and then on top of that commission. So the longer you within tech sales, the better you're doing, the more deals you're closing, the more money you're going to be making at the end of the day. So I'll go to my next slide. Okay, so how to enter tech sales with or without a technical degree. So in my case, like I said, there was a hiring freeze. So I started to look into private sector jobs, and my school had a career program where I was able to filter out what position I would want within different companies. And when I saw IBM's, job opportunity, I noticed that they, like I said, they had this extensive 6 to 8 month sales program. It was called the Summit Program, and we're in a global sales school. Like we're pretty much in school for 7 months, learning everything we need to know about IBM. So with the new solutions, IT is always changing, right? It's always new. Technology is always evolving, and modernizing. So when it comes to like solutions like cloud and IoT and security and analytics, we had to learn everything that needed to be learned for IBM's sake in that. And then also our competitors too, since we want to make sure that we're able to speak on what we could do better than that. So I researched, I researched different tech sales program once I saw I was interested in IBM, and then realized this is the one I want to go into. But for your sake, I mean, I know every like Salesforce, Microsoft, everyone has an entry level program that they're wanting to provide for a new hire. So that program will help you understand what's going on in that company and gain the skills and the knowledge of what's going on in technology, like all over different vendors. So yeah, researching tech sales programs with different companies is very important. And another thing, the next point, programs available to enter tech sales. So I have a friend who actually did the SV Academy. So it's just a way, she was teaching before and she pivoted her career into tech sales and by doing the SV Academy. So that was, it's like a boot camp to get into tech sales. So they help, they do a program, I believe is for like 6 months, and they help you get a job with that program. So that's another avenue that you can take into trying to enter tech sales. Because if you were doing something completely different, in your career, and you don't feel like your resume could align with getting an entry-level sales job, the entry-level tech sales job, then programs that are available, like the ones I listed, could be an opportunity for you to try to get your foot in the door. And in an interview process, I mean, getting creative. So I was a public policy major and public policy and leadership major. So I was asked, I think in my second interview with IBM, like, why did I think with my background I could be a technical seller? And I pretty much just sold myself. I said that I was learning how to persuade policy, folks on why my law or my bill is the best policy moving forward for our country versus another person. So I was in the position where I was learning throughout my major how to excel and how to move different policies forward within like the House and the Senate and so forth. So I kind of said like that's literally selling. I was selling policy, like I was pretty much selling policies to different congressmen, trying to figure out that have been what I wanted to do in the public sector. So I can use that skill set and move it over to tech sales, since I'm still persuading, I'm still negotiating, in a sense that I've learned those skills within my major, so I can do that within the role. So I'm sure there's something that you've done in your life that you've been able to sell someone something or been creative. I mean, even if you were like selling gift cards at a spa, doing something so simple, like having a sales background, they're like, I know personally IBM, they like that. And they like you to come in with a different mindset. They liked that I was a public policy major too. They liked that they had folks that were in all different types of majors, because they're coming in with a different mindset and a different thought process within the company. So they could probably sell something different than I do, but they could be maybe more successful in that avenue. So like I said, interview process, get creative. That's the most important key. Figure out what the value you have is and what you can provide for the company. And then lastly, hiring process often comes down to whether the person can manage tools. So I put Salesforce CRM, that's a customer relationship tool, and outreach. So there's different tools that are if people and sellers use, so I would just do research on what they are, and then, you don't have to have been using them, but like if you know what they are, that would be good to just have in your back pocket for an interviewer. And then understanding how to listen and communicate well, and showing that you can do relationship selling. So a lot of times selling is literally listening to what the client wants. So, and building that relationship, like I mentioned before, which is key. Let's see. Okay, so how to excel in tech sales. So I really wanted to hone in on this part of this presentation, because there's so much information out there to how to enter, but there isn't too much information on how to excel. So I've been within IBM for 5 years, like I mentioned, and I've been promoted twice now within the company. And what I've done to get to the point where I'm at now within the company is network very heavily. I mean, through LinkedIn is very important, but contacting other sellers, I do that pretty often. It's internally a lot and externally, but I made sure that I was building my network, because I mean, honestly, you can work very hard, but a lot of times with sales, it's really who you know. So if you're able to have someone on your side or know someone well enough that is in a higher position in sales and tech sales, then, and they can vouch for you, then that puts you in a really good opportunity to excel within the company. And then sales enablement program. So I work for a big company, and they have a lot of training and certifications that they allow us to take advantage of for free. So if you're already in tech sales, or if you are, this slide is maybe like for someone who's already in tech sales but wants to figure out how they can excel, utilize those programs. Like, or once you get into the door of tech sales, make sure you're utilizing those free programs. I mean, they're for free. So why not take advantage of all the information that's provided for you, so then you're able to differentiate yourself, which is, I know, one of my points there. But making yourself different within the role is what is key. That was the first thing someone told me when I entered. They were like, figure out what your value is and what makes you different from a different tech seller. Like, are you an expert in cloud? Are you an expert in, what's going on, like with analytics or with IoT? What could you provide that this other tech seller couldn't, that makes you keep your job and not this other person, in a sense? So differentiate yourself. Everyone has their own value, what they can provide. So I use the enablement sessions to hone in and be, I guess you could say, an expert on certain solutions that allow me to be in the position I am now, where I'm also managing different brand sellers and, in a position where I'm helping other people try to get into the position I'm in now, to be honest. So that's key. Being innovative, that's like big IBM, innovate. And innovating is just, to be innovative means to provide an idea that is unique to the company. What is a new way, a new strategy that could be done in order for a deal to go from A to close, pretty much. So providing just value within different ideas is key. So if you can be, that's like one of the key parts we get checked on, like end of year checkpoint. What innovation, what's something innovative that you did in order to, help your clients get into deals? So something I did was I started a newsletter for my clients, so a monthly newsletter. So every month they're able to see what upgrades and products are going to be, IBM is going to be coming out with or selling. So then, and then trying to tie it in to what their needs and wants are. So because it's a personalized newsletter. And that helps a lot, because now I'm touching point my client, but they're also able to see, even if we're not on the phone, what's going on within IBM. So that's just one way you could be different within your clients. And then lastly, networking some more. Networking is key. I was able to get in my position from, I wouldn't say like being bothersome, but I was nagging an executive consistently. I wanted him to be like my mentor, which I skipped that point, but yeah, I wanted him to be my mentor. So I was very persistent with him and saying that I wanted to meet and grab coffee. So getting in the door with him and having him as my mentor has helped me a lot. So in that case, and I still try to network within the company and with that and outside of the company, because you never know, things always happen. So you want to make sure that you're putting yourself in the best position. So networking is very key. You don't know, even like when in entry level, people who are your peers, you don't know what's going to happen to that person next to you. You don't know what position they're going to be put into that you might want to get into. So networking is really important. Getting out of your comfort zone and making sure you're building relationships internally is very important. I think that's it. Yep, that's it. So I know I went a little bit over time. I guess I see it's 11:37, but gonna get off of this and wanted to see what the questions are. So let me see. I'm gonna scroll up. Yeah. Okay. Are there any questions? I'm scrolling through the chat. Oh, you looking for a program? Did anyone get the name of the program? Which program were you referring to? If you don't mind me, I can go back on that slide though. If you're referring to programs that are, when you're doing different roles, different jobs, and then want to pivot into tech sales, SV Academy, Curious, Pre-Hired are a few programs that I've heard about from other folks. And then if you're talking about different, like a IBM program, it's called the Summit Program. It's Global Sales School program. And I know different companies have their own programs. I'm not too familiar what their names are, but I'm sure if you just research and Google the company, they will come up. Cool. No problem. Oh, I'm glad that if you guys don't really have that many questions, that means I was able to answer most of them in my presentation, which is great.
Hey, I think you may have. I saw a few more. That I'm seeing.
Okay, I'm seeing them now.
Yeah.
Okay, so tech sales for me. How was the work-life balance? So work-life balance is actually pretty good. I mentioned that I'm also a realtor, so I'm able to do things on the side that I feel like are also gonna. I don't do real estate as much as I do obviously my job because it keeps me busy. But it's great. I work remote. I've always been working remote. The pandemic didn't switch me there. I've just always been remote. So I really like that because I get to make my own schedule. And I'm actually one of the youngest people on my team. A lot of folks are a bit older and they have families and kids. And they're always able to, say like, hey, I can't make this meeting because I have to take my kid to the doctors or I have to go to this recital or something. So it's been really, I've noticed it being very flexible for a lot of folks. So I think the work-life balance, in my opinion, it's pretty good. But the higher you get within the role, obviously, when you become an executive and so forth, a director, it does get, I know, a bit dicey. I do begin an email sometimes at 8 p.m., 9 p.m. from my VP and my directors, so I know their life is a little bit harder than mine. But overall, I feel like it's pretty good. The name, the boot camp is the SV Academy. I have it up here. And Curious, Pre-Hired. There's actually a lot more. I just put those three because I've heard of them. But there are more. There are way more boot camps available. If you, I just found out about those three. What is your best month ever with IBM sales? My best month ever. I don't know. That's a good question. I want to say January because it's the beginning of the new year. Like 4 quarters over, I get to relax. But I guess my best sales month, usually within IBM, is during the 3rd quarter. So I would say like September, because of IBM. Oh, okay, what is your best? Yeah, usually in September would be like the best month, because since I work with the federal government and I'm renewing contracts with them, they their fiscal year is done on the end of September. So I get a lot of deals happening within September. So that's usually like my best sales month, I would say. But it varies. I've had good Q1s too and good fourth quarters like I'm in now. But I would say Q3 is the best for me. What is the 7-month training program at IBM? Global Sales School. So it's under, I would just Google IBM Summit Program, Global Sales School. And they usually hire actually around this time frame between August to December. So if there are still positions available, get into it. And I'll definitely, I put my contact information here. So if you need to contact me or have additional questions about the program, or just anything related to what I presented, feel free to email me. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, sure. Yes, connect with me on LinkedIn, please. I'm better with email, I would say, than I am with LinkedIn in terms of messaging. But please, yeah, connect with me on LinkedIn. Yeah, I'm always checking my email, so sort of my life. What is the commission schedule structure? So that, and I can speak on IBM. And it depends. Like that's our favorite thing to say to clients too. It depends, because it actually does depend. So there's different types of sales that you can do. I can speak on within IBM. So you can do like a whole new sale. Let's say you're selling, for example, they want to buy the security product. They don't have it in their contract. They already don't have it in place for them to download. So in that case, that's a completely new sale. And usually you'll get paid on this something like that within the next month. However, if it's sometimes clients like when they do big contracts with us, they have a catalog of products that they can download. And if they decide to download that product, we do get commission off of that because it'll be a new product that they're putting within their environment. And in that case, you don't really see that commission come in. It takes like 3 months, I think, like between like a quarter. You won't see into the next quarter, I would say. So it just depends the type of deal you close in terms of the commission. And then how much you make for the commission, that also varies depending on what your level is within the company. So I know the government has like GS levels. IBM has the different type of structure where they evaluate where you are. But the higher you are, the more commission you're going to be able to make. So in that case, I think our highest number that you can get to is like level 9 or level 10. And I started off as a level 6, and right now I'm at a level 8. So, but someone who's on my team who sells within my client who's a level 6 and I'm a level 8, I will get more commission than they do. Even though we're selling into the same, like we're working together, just because I'm at a higher level, I will get more commission. And that percentage is mostly based on what your manager decides for you too. But there's a range within the level. Let's say like for level 8, you get 20-30% of the deal. Like that's not the case, but I'm just saying if that is the case, someone within level 6 would get like maybe like 5 to 10%, and then level 7 will be like 15 to 20% or something within the commission. So within the commission pool that's available. Hopefully I answered your question. Sorry, it was a pretty broad question. I'm probably working in finance, but I've had a passion for tech from a young age. So my question is, would it be recommended that for tech sales first? Oh, it's a good question. I would say I want to say I would tell you to explore tech sales first, just personally. But I mean, both fields are good fields to be entering into. To be honest, I don't want to say looking into fintech would be better than tech sales and vice versa. It kind of just depends on what your career goal is within tech as well. I mean, I'm like continuing in one. I know I'm going to do sales forever. I know I'm going to do tech sales hopefully for a very long time because I like the idea of being able to make as much commission as I can. I mean, I've heard of people on my team who's closed deals that they made like $1 million commission off of. I haven't gotten there yet, but I'm praying to God I do. So, and I like that I have the possibility though of being able to do that. Like just the opportunity that I'm in that I can one day do that. I really like. So I would say if that's something you're more to geared towards, like you like to be in sales and like, be a seller, then I would say do tech sales. So then your opportunity would be wide when it comes to commission and making money, which is all what we care about, right? That's why we work, is to make money. Hopefully that answers your question. I know it's 11:48. I know it's supposed to be until 11:45. I know over time, a bit. But I don't think I have any more questions. But yeah, so I'm just gonna close it up then, and just letting you guys know that please, if you have any questions, contact me via email. I'll put my Instagram over there. Just because I'm also active on Instagram because I now do real estate too, so I just have a lot going on within that space. And then LinkedIn as well, pretty active. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to contact me. I'm always happy to help. Try to get people within the door. So it was great meeting you all. Thank you for the time that you guys took to listen to me. I appreciate that. And I look forward to hopefully connecting with you all.